got the Aired Out podcast on a frigid day. Running a little late this morning. Not what I expected on the roads. Let's check some current temperatures. Let's see. Miami, Florida right now, we're at 72. We have 11 degrees in St. Johnsbury. I should say back to Miami, 72 and sunny. 11 in St. J, and we're at a whopping 8 degrees here in Barrie, Vermont. It looks like for most of us, it's like we're hovering right around like 10 degrees, depending on where you are. I think, what did I hear? Middlebury this morning, the warm spot at like 18 or something like that. Two big cutouts through the snowbanks right here on North Main Street leading to Nelson's Hardware, which is a good thing because they've got, believe it or not, I think last I heard they had sold out roof rakes, but I think they're going to be getting more. But the regular shovels, they've got them. They've got the rock salt. They've got the tube sand, all that good stuff, and some amazing sales going on, too. Red hot buys always at Nelson Ace Hardware. Today is President's Day. What does that mean? It means, well, some of the banks are closed, and some of the federal buildings are closed. But it also means that people wait all year long for President's Day to buy a car. Get yourself over to Montpelier Mazda, Montpelier Volkswagen. They're right there. They're in the same building on Route 2, just past the roundabout. And trust me when I say they're going to take very good care of you today. President's Day, day number 17. We had the snowstorm over the weekend. We had Valentine's Day on Friday. It was generally a pretty good weekend for me. I hope it was for you, too. Was involved in a sledding birthday party with Lily and one of her friends. Did a lot of playing in the snow. Had a lot of fun. Didn't get, I would say, badly hurt at all from sledding. I have no business sledding anymore. A little stiff, a little sore, but didn't suffer any major injuries from sledding, which is a good thing. Man, we have a lot to get to. Thanks so much for tuning in. Birthdays today, Karen Gilman, Rebecca Ronga, Ann Cardinal, Ann Hawksby, Julie Ann Bellevue, Jalen Ray, Sandy Rivers, Dean Utton, John Morrison, Sue Gilmette, and Catherine Maxwell, all on the birthday list today on this President's Day. Yeah, National Blood Donor Month today. 43,000 pints of donated blood are used each day in the United States and Canada. 43,000. So keep that in mind this month. What do we have? A couple weeks left. Facebook question of the day is, and I know this one is probably going to stir up a little bit, but I'm just interested to hear what you have to say because I've had these conversations lately. If sufficient donations aren't successfully raised in Barrie to secure the purchase of the J.J. Newberry building, would you wish for an eminent domain even though it's just not going to happen? I think many of us know that it's just not going to happen. But I would love to hear what you have to say about that. If winter storm warning, I think it ended at 1 a.m., but we have the wind advisory until 10 p.m. tonight, and it is not going to be a delightful, balmy day like it is down in Fort Pierce and Miami and whatnot. Points south. It's going to be pretty wicked today. And I know many of you are like, I've had it. I've had enough of the winter. But yeah, the blowing and drifting snow, winds ripping up around 50 miles per hour in some towns today. The visibility is going to be garbage. I know the crews are out working so hard trying to keep the roads in the best shape that they possibly can, but it was not a fun drive in this morning. Another 1 to 3 inches is what they're saying for most of us here in central Vermont. It depends if you're in the hills or not. I think the big spread is like 2 to 6, depending on where you are. But for most of us, 1 to 3, somewhere in that ballpark, all right? Cloudy today, 16 degrees, winds again over 40 miles per hour, approaching 50 today. Be careful on any road that you're driving on, especially the big roads. It's not going to be good. Tonight, 2 degrees. Winds still gusting over 40 miles per hour. Am I making this up, Miami? No, I'm not. That's crazy. Stay inside. Throw an extra log in the fire if you can tonight. It's not going to be, you don't want to be out snowshoeing tonight. Tuesday, tomorrow, cloudy, cold, and 12. Wednesday, 18 with a mix of sun and clouds. We're going to warm up just a little bit. Thursday, 21 and cloudy. 22 clouds and sun on Friday, and pretty much the same story for the weekend, looking all the way ahead. Right next to me is Logan Luce, who has stepped in this morning. Dude, I'm so glad to see you, dude.
Good morning, Katie. How are you?
How are you, my man?
I am wonderful.
It's
wonderful.
great. It's great to see you, dude.
Yeah.
You have taught me so much about sports, and
Of course.
I think you know, and many listeners do, that I am the furthest thing from a sports aficionado.
Actually, while I'm asking, what team is that? Because I don't recognize the hat.
This is the Topsom Corinth softball team.
Okay, softball.
Yes, this for my daughter, Lily.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah.
I was just curious because it looks like some kind of sports hat, and I'm like, are you gonna try to tell me like that you know some team, but then you're like, it's for obviously your daughter, so that's different.
Well, I've been wearing a Celtics hat.
I remember when I was last on the phone with you last time I was on the air.
Oh yeah,
you had you had the Celtics hat, and what was his name? He was a nice gentleman that was with you that day. He and I were like flaming you for having.
It might have been Paul.
I think it might have been Paul. I don't know. I apologize either way, but either way, I just remember that we were like totally like just joshing on you about it.
Listen, man, but here's the thing about me though, is I love to learn, and
of course, yeah.
Man, it's like when I went 2 years ago, when I went to catch a Mountaineers ball game in Montpelier. Once I was not distracted by what was, what Lily was doing and all stuff, and I could actually pay attention and follow the game. Fascinating now.
Right.
I love the game now.
Yeah, no.
And basketball's the same thing, man.
No, so yeah, softball is like a nice. Same with like baseball. It's a nice sport.
Yes.
It's definitely a slower sport. However, though, it's one of those sports where like, unlike hockey, well, I would say kind of like hockey. It's like, well, like with like for example, like in my opinion, with basketball and football, it's a lot more fast paced because it's constant. While baseball is kind of a game where it's relied, obviously, like the fun comes in when the ball's actually hit and everybody's trying to catch the ball and you got the players running the bases. So that's when like you have those games where like it's like either like it's a high scoring or it's a blowout.
Right.
And same with hockey though. Hockey's the same way. Hockey could be like a high scoring, or it could be like 2-1. You
Painful.
know, it could be a very like
it's like soccer.
Well, yeah, it's like it's a fun sport, but soccer's slow too because soccer there's a lot of just like you see the ball either going out of bounds or bouncing off the actual goal more often than you see actually getting goals.
Yeah. Hey, quick note here.
Totally.
The Harwood Montpelier girls game tonight has been canceled.
Yeah, I kind of figured they've canceled most of the schools, correct?
Schools too. Yeah. I mean, a lot of schools that were running on delay 2-hour delays this morning have decided to close their doors.
Oh,
so,
wow.
and that's one of them, or two of them right there. So, check and we've got the link that's posted right up at the top of the page. So please do check. Sherilyn put that up last night. So, if you want the very latest information of what schools have decided to close today. I think Lily's school is like the only school open in the state of Vermont this morning. But anyway, the Vermont Coyotes and Revolution Basketball hosted an all-day tournament on Saturday at People's Academy. Wow.
Yeah, so I personally, I wish I had gone, but obviously the weather, and I was also like busy this weekend. But I wanted to go because I have to get out to you about like their schedule, because like I do pay attention to their Facebook, but they kind of like, I don't know, they post randomly. Like they'll post like one day and then I won't see something till almost 2 weeks later, or like at least that's what I see. But they're pretty consistent. But yeah, no, was it Matt Spears was his name?
Yes.
The gentleman that won the tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, very impressive.
Matt Spears.
I didn't see what position he played. Do you know what position?
I don't.
Dang, because that's going to be important, because I'm like, I didn't really see what position he played, but he seemed like he's kind of like a taller guy. He might be like a shooting guard or something like that.
I was hoping to get there too. It just didn't happen with everything going on. It was supposed to be.
The weather's just like, it's like because like at the start of the winter, it was bad. Then we had like 2 or 3 weeks of just kind of like sun. Now this last week, 2 weeks has just been nothing but slush and snow. So it's like trying to get places has been not easy.
We were we were trying to run down to the Harris Hill ski jump competition down in Brattleboro. It's every weekend. It's like you're supposed to be 6 different places at the same time,
Right.
but and it was supposed to be Sunday at Windsor High School, and they bumped it to Saturday over at People's Academy.
Yeah, I saw that they, was it Friday or Thursday, they had announced that they were changing the time due to the weather, which made sense.
But that round of 32 tourney was a huge success. The roster continues to grow.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
It's exciting, man.
I find it shocking though how like I don't know exactly how many gentlemen were at that game, or how many like pulled up for that game or that tournament. However, though, for them to strictly pick one guy tells me that like this kid's got to be good, because when you say there was like 60 kids, right? Out of 60 kids, you pick one, not 2. You pick one. So that's definitely like, it's either like, how would you say it? Like his talent had to be like, his talent's got to be up there, or his like whatever he did, he clearly impressed the coaches enough to where he, out of 60 people, was the only one that successfully won and got an opportunity to like now go on to play for the future of Vermont's. I would say Vermont's future, because
here's the thing: these are paid players.
Yeah,
this is a professional basketball. It's not semi-pro. It's professional.
It's
basketball.
Professional, but it's also something Vermont hasn't had in so long.
Right.
And we have UVM, and we have colleges, but we do not have a professional sport, and we now officially have like a professional sport. So not only is this going to be a big deal for this kid, but this is a big deal for the whole state, because we are now finally, because like it's like we're not planning to see, I'm assuming this as of right now that the team is still aiming for like late summer, right, for them to start, like is that give or take?
It'll be, I think training camp is in the fall.
So they're gonna so they're gonna do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It's gonna be like, I think September, October is training camp.
Wow. Yeah. No. It's gonna be.
And then boom, we're right into it.
I'm very excited, because I'm excited to see what. Like, I'm excited for when we like get the official roster of like all. I don't know how many players, like 16, give or take.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 or 16.
15, 16.
Either way, though, it's going to be very impressive to see like these young guys, or even maybe even older guys. But either way, just seeing this, professionalism come into light for the state of Vermont is gonna be a big a
Sure.
big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
VTCoyotes.com. Check out their all of
Website?
their social media, but
I see
their
they finally.
Facebook page and web.
I see they finally gave you a hoodie.
Yeah, I've got the hoodie right now.
I know, I see it. I got showed off.
How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm like, I remember I saw, I think it was like, was it a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago? You
Yeah.
had mentioned you were like, you're trying to get a hoodie. So
Yeah.
I was like,
I got
well, you finally got it. You
Yeah.
finally got it.
And they're going to be for sale too. Just get on vtcoyotes.com and you can see everything that's going on. Hats and
hats,
hoodies
t-shirts.
and everything. Yeah, everything.
They got beanies.
I don't know. You know what?
Hope they do.
I would assume so.
I'm like, caps are nice, but I'm a beanie guy. I
I'm
like beanies.
excited as hell, man. And I can't wait to get the some of the players in here. We've had we've had the coaching staff in here.
Yeah, you've had Jesse and all those guys.
Yeah, but man,
Nice.
it's like God. It's time's going to be going by fast here.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's
excited.
It's gonna be really cool. I'm personally excited. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is gonna be a big deal for Vermont.
All-star games.
Oh my God, yeah,
did
that
you,
was. Well,
Shaq's OGs,
I'm
man.
gonna, yeah, Shaq's OG. Oh, I'm sorry, but like when I saw the Shaq team compared to the other teams, I'm like, is there a question who's gonna win this? This doesn't seem fair. You've got what? Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, James Harden, was Kyrie. Like, oh my God, you literally had like the guys, and it's like, and then it's like, who was it? Was it not Kenny? Was it Chuck's team? Was the or was it the Global Stars or whatever? They did really good and they were very impressive. But I'm like,
Chuck's Global Stars.
yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say Chuck's Global Stars, but I was gonna say you're not gonna beat, because if you think about it, Shaq's team was essentially like the U.S. team
yeah.
in the Olympics, and it's like if you're just not gonna beat them. But it's too bad they didn't have LeBron, because this was actually LeBron's first time not being in an all-star game in a very, very long time, which is shocking.
All
Very
right,
shocking.
So Chuck's Global Stars 41-32 went over
Yep.
Kenny's Young Stars, and then Shaq's OGs got
Candace's.
by Chuck's Global Stars 41-25, and then came back in a 42-35 win over Candace's Rising Stars. So
Okay, that's cool.
those are the finals yesterday.
Oh wow.
Wednesday we got the Hornets and the Lakers. You excited
Yep.
about that? I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh God, super excited. Well, since we last spoke, we actually had mentioned the Luca and AD trade. Have you been at least a little bit keeping up with
Oh
it?
my God!
So AD's already injured.
Are you kidding me?
No, he had his debut game. He dropped a historical
No, I'm
game.
saying,
He
are you
dropped
kidding me that I'm keeping up with this?
Oh no, I didn't think so. But yeah, so long story short, AD, the guy that we sent to the Mavericks, so he already injured. He's gonna be out for a month. He already got a lower, I think it was a groin or lower leg injury after his debut game. He comes back off an injury, plays one game, and is now out for another month.
Oh.
Dude, Maverick fans are livid.
How long was he down for the first time?
So before we traded him, he was out for about 2 weeks. So he's out for 2 weeks, comes back, plays one game, gets injured, and is now going to be out for a whole month. That's what they're talking about. It's going to take a month, give or take. They said maybe a couple weeks, but realistically, they're like, it's going to be probably not till mid-March that we see AD again. Luka came back. He's doing good. So Luka was injured as of Christmas Day. He played Christmas Day, got I can't remember, was it his arm or something, injury. He was out for a little bit. He's played 2 games since his return. He did really great. I would say it's obvious his injury is still kind of there, and he's obviously having to work out the kinks. He's a little rusty getting back in the game. So his field goal for the 2 games was not the best. He didn't score a lot of points. However, though, in his first game against the Jazz, his playmaking was there. That's because one of the commentators was saying, which I agree, is when you come off an injury, it's you're shooting, all that, your footwork, is a little rusty. However, though, playmaking and defense, you never lose that. And so, Luka, he came to play. Now, he didn't score a lot of points, but lucky for him, the rest of the team picked up, and his playmaking, did a lot for our team. And so I think as he gets back into the groove of getting over that injury, I think the Lakers are gonna do better. I mean, we were on a was a 5-game win streak, and then we finally lost. So I'm just hoping though that we continue that win streak versus losing streak.
Yeah.
But the Lakers are looking really good, and it's funny because at first I was like, okay, we need a new center. However, though, honestly, like the two young guys we got playing in the center position, I think Jackson Hayes and I keep forgetting his first name, but his last name's like Vanderbilt. But either way, the both of them are performing fantastic, and so honestly, I mean, like the Lakers, we got some center name. I think it was Alex Len. He didn't play that. He doesn't. I don't know. I like to see him play more. I'm not really sold on him yet. But we kind of cleared out, because we had I think it was Christian Woods. He was injured for like almost 2 years, and so we finally we pretty much sent him to free agency, and then picked up this Alex Len kid. So hoping Alex does okay, because we don't need him to do a whole lot, honestly, because he's kind of just an extra man in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Who do you watch hoop with?
I usually watch hoop by myself.
Yeah.
I usually or maybe sometimes my partner will watch it with me.
Yeah.
But we just, for the most part, it's me. I like to watch basketball. I watch, I have ESPN right now, so I kind of have a limited of what I can actually legitimately watch because I don't have cable.
Yeah.
But either way, though, I like to, if I can't physically watch the games, I will keep tabs on, the actual players' scores, who's hitting what, and then I'll watch highlights as well, because the highlights will show me it'll do a less than a 10-minute video of the best plays. And so I'll usually watch that afterwards, and I'll usually base my opinion on things from usually that social media.
Damn, fella. I mean, you're diehard on this.
Oh no, I'm a diehard on
Holy shit.
Well, I won't lie. I don't watch a lot of however, I don't watch a lot of. I don't really watch baseball at all. I want to get more back into baseball, but baseball is one of those sports where I like it, but I can't I could go see a baseball game and enjoy it, but I can't sit on my couch and watch it because it's a little too slow for my liking.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I want to get back into it just so then I could say I understand what's going on. But when it comes down to it, it's basketball, football, and hockey are my 3 domains. Hockey is kind of I see it once in a while, but the first 2, basketball and football, are definitely my 2 favorites.
Huh. We got the Four Nations face-off going on right now. Have you
Did you see?
Did you see the 3 fights broke out in the first 9 seconds of that U.S.
versus
Canada play?
That was
Holy
hilarious.
shit.
But not only was the fighting the best part, I think the best part was the fact that we whooped them in their own sport.
Yeah.
This is a game that they are known for.
Yeah.
And they got whooped 3-1. I mean, well, I wouldn't say whooped. It was either way, all around. I watched the highlights for that game. All around, that game was fantastic. And both teams played hard, but obviously US won in the end. But yeah, no. Oh no, the build up to that game was crazy because everybody was just this is gonna be a war, because when it comes down to national sports, Canada and America do not like each other when it comes down to sports.
Well, I mean, Canada was booing during the U.S. national anthem.
Yeah, that was some
It's
cheese.
a little over the line, I think.
little
Those guys
bit
were
much.
pissed when they stepped on the ice. I'm not surprised fists were flying so quickly.
Yeah,
My God.
There was a lot of funny comments people made on videos about that stuff. So I'm just I'm thinking about those.
So this is Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the United States. Kind of a round robin tournament type.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish there was a couple more states though, or countries. I felt like there was only there was only 6 of them. It didn't seem like there was many.
That's it.
Really?
Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the U.S.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense though, because I think, because I'm No, not Russia or anything like that. No,
No.
they don't even have a hockey. No.
No. Where was that game Saturday night? Montreal. I think
Montreal,
that's
yeah,
where
it
it
was
was.
right. Yeah, that's what. Well, that's what made it funny. Not only did we play in Montreal, but like you said, it's like the whole crowd was borderline booing the American national anthem, and I get it because like that's how it is. If you go to another country and play in their playing their home turf, they're not gonna like your
Right.
what you stand for.
Right.
However, though, I feel like them booing the national anthem was just more of a motivation
Oof.
for us to crush them 3-1.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
congrats the U.S.
So yeah, U.S. Clinching a spot in the championship, which will be, I think, Thursday.
Yep. That'll be good.
And we can't rule Canada out. They could be in that championship. We
They
could
could.
be playing Canada Thursday.
Again. Oh well.
It's possible.
It's very exactly. It's very possible. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, I think like if we do play them again, it will probably be on our turf this time. And so now the question would become like, will it be the same outcome, or would it, now that we're playing, maybe they'll somehow do what we did, which is go in their home turf and win. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, if they want to beat us, they definitely got to change their game plan from last
right.
time because clearly that didn't work for them. So
My God. I'm seeing and we're going to talk NCAA here in just a little bit, March
that's
Madness,
totally
but
fine.
Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker accused by
Oh.
7
Yeah, that
more women.
yeah, that was so
Wow.
I didn't hear about any of this till as of like I want to say 2 weeks ago. I think that's roughly when it came out. It was
Yeah.
about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so that's huge because if anybody who watches sports knows, Justin Tucker is like probably one of, if not the best kicker of all time. He's definitely up there. He is an amazing player, and so for this to come out is insane. It kind of reminds me of not only what was it? There've been obviously football players have obviously had like their things, but like what was it? The Steelers' Big Ben. His whole like kind of reminds me of that whole situation because same thing. He had a whole huge case with like accused sexual assault. Same with was it Deshaun Watson? Just had one like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, but 7 more for Tucker, and
Yeah,
now
that's-
that brings
that's
the
bad.
total up to 16.
That's
now.
not good. I mean, if you have 16 women accusing,
Holy shit!
it's different if you have like maybe 2 or 3, but like almost 20 women accusing you of like sexual assault of any form is really bad, and
Yeah.
it's gonna get you in a lot of trouble. And I would say, I don't know. It looks very bad on his part right now. I mean, because I mean, yeah, no, and it looks really bad for the Ravens because now they've got to because there's more likely a not chance that he's gonna either A, retire, or B, they're gonna just force him out of the league. Or maybe he'll somehow do what Deshaun Watson did, come back.
Yeah, yeah.
But either way, it's just like no, it's really a bad look on him.
William Byron avoids some late wrecks to win the second straight Daytona 500 for Hendrick Motorsports. Did you see any of that yesterday?
No, I don't really. I mean, I heard of it, but I don't pay attention to motorsports as much as I used to.
I was wanted to watch it, but Lily wanted to play out in the yard in the snow, so that'll always win. Let's see. Steph Curry.
Yep.
Named NBA All-Star Game MVP.
Yeah, it's not a shock to be honest.
Mac McClung.
Yep. 3-peat. 3 years in a row.
For the dunk contest.
So the beauty of the dunk contest is most of the so it's funny because so Matt Clunk actually because he won that he made more money off the dunk contest than his current NBA contract. Not even joking. That's not a joke either. They gave him I think it was like well over $200,000 for winning the dunk contest.
Jesus.
His contract, his current I think it's a rookie contract he's still on. They're only paying him $163,000 a year.
Somebody bring me a trampoline. I'll get involved
I know, right? No.
for that kind of money.
Well,
Shit.
he didn't. Well, not even trampoline. He dunked over a car.
Yeah.
He dunked over
I
a
haven't
car.
seen any of
He
this.
dunked. Yeah, he dunked on a car. He did the double dunk, which was like you have to like grab the ball that the person's holding, but then there's another person holding another ball right by the actual rim. So you have to, while you're in the air, successfully get both balls into the hoop. He did that too, and like. Now a lot of people would say I keep forgetting his first name, but the youngster Knight, he did really well too, and he looked like he could have won it too. But I think Max, he's proved himself time and time again. I mean, this is a three-peat, three years in a row he's won the dunk contest. So really just crazy stuff. Yeah, but it's crazy to think though. Like, yeah, he's made more money off the dunk contest than his own contract.
That's crazy.
I know,
dude.
like, and that's crazy to me because I'm like, also like the number is high. Don't get me wrong, $163,000 is a lot of money, but for an NBA player, that's like kind of low in my opinion. So I'd be curious to know. Maybe it's because like, I mean, I don't know this, to be honest. I don't know this kid outside of like the dunk contest. So I think he's either a young guy or he's been in the league for 3 years, I'm pretty sure. So he's, not someone I really know, but he definitely
very
like
young.
Yeah, but he definitely is someone who clearly is very good at dunking. I mean, three times in a row is very impressive. So
God. What's regulation on? We're just watching it here on the height of the hoop.
I don't know the actual height. I'm pretty sure it's gotta be. I would assume it's gotta be at least 7 feet because I think the whole point is to be able to like, dunk on, because most centers are usually that tall, give or take, around that like 7-footer, give or take. So, so I think the whole point of that is to like be able to like, obviously dunk it. But I would say that the hoop's gotta be at least 7 feet, if not higher up, because they wouldn't make it too short because I'm pretty sure when it comes to the contest, there is no height requirement. I think you just have to be able to do fancy dunks, essentially.
I'm looking at 2016 here. I'm trying to find. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I'm gonna say 7 feet. That's my guess.
That's insane, man.
It's gotta be
just insane. All right, we're watching it here. This kid looks like he's, I'm not to sound like an old man here, but he looks like he's about 18 years old.
Yeah, a lot of the young guys are obviously like they look like baby faces. A lot of youngsters.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, they're all young. I mean, well, what was it like? Well, obviously, I assume you've heard of at this point that, like, for example, like LeBron James' son, Bronny James, for example.
Yes.
I mean, he's 19, but he's the opposite in my opinion because he's got that beard. So I think he kind of looks like he could be like 22, but he's 19, like I said. So really just depends on the players.
He's been practicing this. Sure. Hey, can I borrow somebody's car so I can
dunk over
practice? Oh my God, it's crazy.
What kind of hoop would you need though?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's the bungee cup one that that goes on the the back door of my bedroom. That one.
That's awesome. I like that answer.
Are you just what's going on with March Madness? Because it just seems like, and again,
well, it's coming in. I'm excited.
You know that I'm not a sports guy.
Okay.
But it just seems like the excitement, and I'm sure there's plenty out there that are going to be like, yeah, JD, duh, you think. But it just seems like there's so much more of a level of excitement and passion about
March Madness
than NBA. And it just seems like more people are anticipating this than anything that goes on in the NBA. Is that a fair kind of, not really, maybe, statement?
I wouldn't it's hard to say. So this is my opinion. I think March Madness alone is more popular than the actual like college like is because like if you look at the ratings, the ratings are pretty average when you look at just a generic college game, whether it's like, Duke, whether it's LSU, Georgia, Gonzalez, whatever. When it comes to college sports, March Madness is popular because of the culture.
Yeah.
100% the culture. Because even when I was in high school, for example, kids would lose their mind when March was coming around. All the kids that were big into sports were talking about it constantly. Like March Madness is one of those things where and now it definitely is. March Madness is a lot more entertaining than normal basketball is because obviously they're all young. They're all young, so they are playing harder. They want to score. But the thing is, I feel like I feel like when you're in college and you're that young, your accuracy is not as good. Now some kids obviously have better shooting and better things than others. But when it comes to the college level, I would say the culture is what makes it stand out.
Yeah.
Now, is it debatable that would I say that the March Madness is better all around than the NBA playoffs, for example? No. But if I were to be like, okay, March Madness or like a Lakers and Celtics game, I think as much as the Lakers and Celtics are popular, I think you're going to get more attention even still from the March Madness because it is the culture of the time. Now, like I said, as soon as March is over, it's going to kind of die down. But like I said, the tournament and what it stands for is what brings the excitement around it come to life.
Sure.
Is the best way I can put it.
And the fans, my God. Looks like the Huskies are kind of having a challenging go right now.
Which is surprising because didn't they just come off the championship? Didn't they win the? Yeah, I was gonna say they just came off the championship.
Just a very slow start.
Well, to be fair, it was kind of like how what was it when the Bengals and the Rams had their Super Bowl a couple years ago? The Rams ended up beating the Bengals and Joe Burrow. And then literally that season coming forth, they didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it is sometimes is like a team will win a championship and then like, I think it's like, I don't know. I guess the best way is like they come into the season after winning a championship, sometimes lazy. Like the mentality of like, oh, we just won the championship, we're definitely going to be the best team. And that mentality is usually not good because, like you said, look at the Huskies. It's like they just won the championship and now they're kind of like on a windy road where, they're winning, they're losing, they're winning, they're losing, so
yeah.
It comes.
Do you put money down?
I don't bet. I don't do any form of sports betting or gambling personally. That's by choice. Mainly because like now, it's like going to a real casino, right? It's like you can bet on the obvious ones, and then you'll get a little bit of money. But then if you really want to play like the big dogs and you want to take that risk, it's just like playing slots.
Yeah.
You will get close, but there is a more likeliness that you will lose the bet than you would win the bet. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you play, what system, whatever. It's like the old saying. It's like the cards are always in the house's favor.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to go, when it comes to betting, it's like you just have to be smart about your betting. And now, if I wanted to do betting, I think I would be one of those people who kind of plays like the safe. I wouldn't do stupid betting. But either way, I just personally don't get into it because I feel like it's a waste of money. I feel like it's a waste of money. Now, some people get very lucky. They put $40 in and then walk away with like maybe 120,
Yeah.
So that's like, I'd say is a good, but
You going to watch Duke and Virginia tonight?
Duke and Virginia. Actually, I will be because I have ESPN, and I'm like, it's funny because I was actually thinking about that. I was looking at the games this morning, and I was like, these games actually look pretty good. Maybe I'll turn on my TV.
First in the Atlantic Coast, they're
Right.
doing well. You'll be with with Illinois on Saturday and then Miami right after that. So.
That will be a very, very impressive outing. I'm very excited to see that one. Miami looks. Oh,
You'll
Miami
have
looks pretty-
you'll have a bracket though, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely paying attention to the bracket. I want to say that like I don't know. I think this year, in my opinion, I think the team that's gonna do really well is like Duke is looking really good. I would say I'm kind of excited to see how like Duke finishes.
Yeah.
I mean, but like there's a lot of good teams this coming year. A team I would like to see like end up winning it all or doing really well in the March Madness would be Gonzalez or Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Gonzaga
Yeah.
like was doing well about 2 years ago, and so I'm hoping that they'll like kind of make that return comeback that they were doing because they were doing good, and then they kind of like Huskies, they kind of slowed down right after they won the championship, and so I'm hoping that they'll make a comeback.
Gonzaga was. I had a bracket that year.
Yep.
I have no idea what that bracket was. Somebody else filled it out for me, but I know that
Right.
Gonzaga was on that. That's all I know. That's all
Right.
I know. And I know that I didn't win any money either. So,
Right.
But
Oh,
I'm learning, man. There's
yeah,
a lot to it.
So totally cutting off topic, but sports wise, so I was actually I don't know if it was you or someone else I was having a discussion with, but I was having a discussion on the fact that like when it comes to like college football, for example, I was talking to someone about how I find it funny, kind of like I don't. So I'm pretty positive that when it comes to college basketball and normal basketball, the rules are pretty similar. However, though, when it comes to college football and NFL football, they are polar opposites. So college football's rules and the way they play is a lot different than the NFL. And I was having a talk with someone about how when all these young kids like for example like let's say like like look at like what happened to Kenny Pickett's and Mac Jones, right? Like Mac Jones was originally 2 years ago or a year ago was the Patriots starting quarterback. Same with Kenny Pickett was the Steelers quarterback before they got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and then kind of pushed him out of the picture, sent him over to the Eagles, which then he won a championship as a backup. But the thing is like I was telling someone, I'm like, I don't understand why college plays different than the NFL, because why would you force those youngsters to learn a whole nother system and then throw them into a game that is polar opposites?
Yeah.
Because like, for example, when the Seahawks, when we drafted 2 years ago, when we drafted Devin Witherspoon, cornerback out of he was out of Idaho or no Illinois. He was from Illinois College. He was, he's a hitter. He kind of reminds me of I don't know if you know who Cam Chancellor is, but yeah, I figured not. But either way, he reminds me of Cam Chancellor for people who know. And the thing is, though, is his first year when he first came in, it was at first rocky for the first 6 games, but then he got his groove and like totally like stood out by the end of the season. But like he came into the game and he was like hitting people kind of like illegally in the NFL. However, though, a lot of the hits he was doing actually were okay and appropriate in the college play. And so the thing is, like, I want to be that person to be like, when is the like the not the NFL but the football college, like when are they gonna like make it so the rules are similar to the NFL? Because what's the point of training these kids and making them learn a specific way and then throw them into a system that's totally different, like rules wise?
I had I was overhearing this exact same conversation when I was at a Dartmouth Cornell football game, which, by the way, was if you haven't been over to Dartmouth to see a home game over there,
their college team is
it's a
crazy.
lot of fun. Have you been?
Not to Dartmouth personally, but
God.
I have been to. I went to, I think about a year ago. I saw a UVM game,
Yeah.
football wise. That was not too bad.
I went down and went down to Yukon and caught a game down there this past fall too. But
Oh wow.
I've heard this conversation was taking place behind me on the stands,
Right.
and the guy that I was with got involved in that conversation too. And I didn't know. Of course, I didn't know any of that. But yeah, it's what's up with that? I mean,
Yeah, so like for example, like when it comes to college, their punting rule, for example, their punting is their special teams is a whole nother format. Now the NFL sort of has started doing what the college was doing for a while, which is like the whole like like you got the guy catching the punt in the back, and then the team kind of stays, and then once the guy catches it, because like what happens is like the two teams sort of meet, but they
Yeah.
can't cross a certain line until the ball has been successfully caught or has hit the ground. And so the NFL recently did that to avoid to avoid special team injuries, like people getting injured during the punt return or the kickoff. And so like now that the NFL is kind of doing that, that's a little different. But like a lot of like, for example, college lets a lot more hits and a lot more rough calls slide because they're young.
Yeah.
But then when you get in the NFL, you've got people of different ages. You don't have just young people. You don't have people who are like 19 or 20. You now have 20-year-olds
It's a
playing
spread.
against 30-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
And so exactly a spread. And so the thing is now the NFL has kind of, obviously, as people know, not only does it, it's kind of gotten a little bit, I wouldn't say, I'd say rigged a little bit, but at the same time, it's more, they definitely make it a little bit more softer. They definitely make it so like people can't get hurt as often, which is smart, obviously. But at the same time, it's like the whole point of having the the helmet, the pads, and all of that is because it is a rough sport, and
Yeah.
that's kind of what it is. And these guys are prepared at a young age to play this sport, and that it is a rough sport. However, though, I would say, like I said, is that college rule wise lets a lot more things slide. So when the youngsters come to play, they're like throwing their hands up, being like, "Why am I getting penalized? I was able to do this in college, no problem." So it's definitely something that I feel like the college has to address, is that like if the NFL is kind of getting more safer about certain plays, I feel like college should also do the same, because again, if these kids are being taught that they can do some things that they actually can't do in the NFL, when they come to the NFL, they're gonna not exactly fail, but they're gonna have a rocky start. And like I've noticed in the last 5 or 6 years, a lot of the kids that get drafted in the first, second round pick, they usually like fade into darkness after about a year or two, because they either don't play as good as they anticipated from their college, or they just in general get swapped to another team, and then that another team doesn't actually play them, and so then they, like I said, they kind of fade into the dark. They fade into the black.
How about the text messages between you and I during the Super Bowl?
You and I didn't see any of that actually. I was not aware of this.
What are you talking about? You and I texting each other during the Super
You and I.
Bowl.
Sorry. I thought. It's funny because there's a company truck that comes around here called a You and I truck. So I'm like, is you and I?
my
Yeah, is you and I? Sorry, I heard you wrong. Is you and I a sport? No. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So we were. I was laughing the whole time, just like because I told myself, I'm like, I kind of was only. I obviously will get to the halftime show in a minute, because I already know you have a lot to say about that. As I saw your Facebook. I know you have a lot to say. But
you and Joe need to share a microphone, because both of you are Kendrick Lamar guys.
No, that's the thing. I actually don't really listen to Kendrick Lamar. I only know Kendrick Lamar because of obviously the whole Drake and Kanye situation, but I also know him because back in high school I listened to him when he like dropped his like Humble album, which is his most popular one. That one was a really great album, and he has other great songs, but like when it comes down to it, I would say I don't listen to Kendrick a lot, but I think that he is a good rapper. But when I heard back in back in the summer when they first announced that he was gonna be the halftime show, like, because they obviously like they prepare it like 9 months prior. They already know who they want to be at the Super Bowl halftime well before the season even starts. And the thing is like I agreed with most people in the sense that like there were more bands, more artists, in my opinion, that deserved it. However, though, I think Kendrick got it mainly because of the whole drama with the Drake situation. I think it's because the whole thought process, because like for a while Drake was considered like the big dog of the rap culture. Like he was kind of on the highest pedestal, and now Kendrick kind of kicked him all the way down, and now he's not even making music. He's not even on social media anymore. He's a ghost right now. Yeah. And so it's like I think because of the media attention it was getting when it was happening is a big reason why they gave it to him out of anybody.
Yeah. What did you think of that Super Bowl game, man?
So the game-wise, I loved the game, especially like, if you're an Eagles fan, you were having the time of your life. And we have not, it's crazy because we haven't seen a blowout like that since the Seahawks and Denver Broncos Super Bowl where we beat them 42-8. We haven't seen a Super Bowl like that in a minute. Now, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs definitely got their little pity points at the end of the game when it didn't really matter anymore. But wow, though, the fact that the Eagles stopped Patrick Mahomes from scoring a single touchdown in 3 straight quarters, wow, that is insane.
You think the Eagles let their guard down a little bit towards the end?
I mean, obviously, but like at that point, it didn't matter because you were so far ahead to where it's like you can celebrate now because
and they were.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can celebrate now because like now obviously everyone for some reason thought by halftime that Patrick Mahomes would somehow pull a Tom Brady where he'd come back.
Yeah.
But like the difference between obviously I would say there's a skill difference between Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, but I think it's also that unlike the Falcons, the Eagles clearly still pursued and still played dominantly even after because the thing is Patrick Mahomes had a whole 2 quarters to make a comeback and he couldn't even muster a single touchdown until about the last 10 minutes of the 4th quarter, and it just didn't matter anymore. Now I think you and I were having a ball, especially when we watched Patrick Mahomes get sacked. What was it, 3 times in a row, and then he also threw those back-to-back picks. I remember what was it? It wasn't the first one was crazy. Cooper, the rookie, Cooper DeJean, or Dejean, I don't know, Dejean, whatever. Him getting that pick 6 in his rookie career against Patrick Mahomes is definitely gonna be a highlight of his career, no doubt. And but the second
money in his wallet.
The second interception was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I even made a joke 30 seconds prior to him throwing the interception. I was like, all right, I looked at my little sister and I go, all right, how much you want to bet right here? He's going to throw a pick. She goes, he's not going to throw a pick. I'm like, really? You want to bet on it? And obviously she said no because she didn't want to bet. And he threw the pick. I was tempted to be like $20 because then I could have had $40, man.
Yeah. Wow. What a game, though.
Yeah.
What a game.
What a game.
It really was.
You know what's crazy, though? Speaking of the halftime show, the thing I've never really understood. Now, maybe this is their choice. How come Metallica has not been to a Super Bowl halftime? Literally the biggest rock metal band has never been to a Super Bowl. And it's like they're about to retire. But the person I honestly wanted, which I don't know why they didn't do this, was for the halftime show, I wanted Ozzy Osbourne. I wanted Ozzy to do because like obviously Ozzy's doing not too well, and he's getting older.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'd have to wheel him out in a wheelchair.
Well,
and,
I don't
mean,
know. He's got his little like his little cane he has. He can walk. He definitely can walk, and he can still sing because he proved it as of like a couple months ago. He could still do it, but like obviously it wouldn't be all that crazy like because he can't move around like most people. Like he's very kind of slow, so he kind of be standing there for the most part. But still, though, I just think that it would have been cool, even if he was just there for like one song, that would have been pretty cool. But
I think there's a few Black Sabbath guys that are still alive that would have.
Oh no, the whole band is still alive. No, the whole band is still around.
Are they?
No, they're still around. I think. No, I lied. I think one of them has already passed. I can't remember on the top of my head. I should know this, which is sad, but I don't on the top of my head. But I know that for the most part they have that. But then also like that crazy thing with like Nirvana where Post Malone for Saturday Night Live or whatever was like he did a Nirvana song with like Dave Grohl and the rest of the band, which was pretty cool. It's actually kind of funny seeing Dave Grohl on the drum kit after like 30 years because I'm so used to seeing him as the Foo Fighters guy where he's playing guitar up front. So seeing him on the drums on Saturday was hilarious because it's just kind of like, like I haven't seen this in years.
my $1 million question is why has AC/DC never performed at the Super Bowl halftime show?
Same. Well, I think the same thing with Metallica. I think it's like a choice because the thing is like I can't imagine because like I said at this point the fact that like I said AC/DC, Metallica, like the fact that these big bands have not done it, it's because I would go on a whim and say like I said it's a choice because even Aerosmith hasn't even done one. I don't think they've done.
Are you sure?
I don't think they have. I know Prince obviously has, but like maybe I don't remember if Aerosmith has. I don't recall.
I think they did. It was 2001.
Oh, they have. Okay. Oh, well then I'm so far wrong.
2001.
Wow. Well, to be fair, I wasn't
right alongside Britney Spears.
That's a combination. That's a Britney Spears and Aerosmith.
Yeah, it was Tampa.
Wow. That goes to show like just how young I am. I'm like I don't even know.
How old are you?
Well, I am 22, so I wasn't even born until 2002. So technically I wasn't even alive when they had that performance.
Oh my God.
That's crazy to think about. I wasn't even alive when that happened.
We have the 10th polar vortex that is hitting 48 states this winter season compared to the 2 or 3 during an average winter. This is number 10. The Dakotas, the upper Midwest, even Kansas to Maine, at or below 0. And these cold temperatures are dipping as far south as Atlanta and Austin, Texas, where temps could be into the teens by Wednesday with that's snow and ice. I mean, this is crazy. What's going on?
That's concerning, especially if you're from the South, because unlike up here in New England, down south, they don't really have. They have little to no selection of like, for example, like winter and or studded tires.
Or
and
trucks.
So, and no offense,
Plows.
and I make and I just want to say, like, no offense to Southern people and, like, the people that live in the warm weathers, but y'all get, like, a foot of snow, and it's like an apocalypse.
It is.
Just cars hitting cars, like,
it was
nobody.
a couple of weeks ago, man.
Yeah, what was it back? Was it last year? It was last year that Texas had their, like, winter freeze over where they got like what was it? They got like 2 or 3 inches of snow, but
crazy.
Like because obviously their states aren't prepared for that because they don't normally get that kind of weather.
Well, again, we have the wind warnings in place until 10 p.m. tonight here in Vermont, we get blowing and drifting snow, gusting upwards of around 40 to 50 miles per hour. So the roads aren't going to be good.
Yeah, what time are we roughly expecting
Pretty much all day today, and right up until 10 tonight. So,
well, so far as I'm looking outside right now, we're kind of lucky right now. But
yeah, well, we're also braced by all these buildings here. But you get out in the big road, be careful, man. Be careful.
Oh no, I was on the road the last 2 days, so I've been like lucky for me. My car is a little bit not like super new, but like it's a newer car. So I have like, for example, I don't know if your car has it, but my car has it where like it'll tell me if I'm sliding. Like it'll pop up being like, it'll show me the little like the little car
little traction control.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of like that now that because like before I had my current car, I had a 2014 or 15 Jeep.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't seem that bad, but like this was around the time when Jeep and like the company Jeep was getting like Bluetooth. Like my car didn't have Bluetooth. Yeah. That my old Compass, it did not have a Bluetooth. It did not have a fancy touch screen. It literally had a CD player and a basic like green LED screen that just displayed the time. And so the thing was about that is I didn't have like the fancy contraction. Like the only way I knew I was sliding is if my car was physically sliding.
Sure.
And so now that I have now obviously I know when I'm sliding, but it's kind of nice when I see that little thing like pop up because it at least lets me know, be like, okay, let go of the gas and just start controlling the car because if you hit the gas, it's not gonna help.
Listen, just go easy today. Depending on,
I go super slow. I go like, for example, like when I'm on the interstate with days like this, I'm going like 50 at the most. I ain't going past 50 because I'm like, it's like the roads. Some places don't look so bad, but then you will go from like somewhat clear road to suddenly it's like orangish brownish slush just in a big pile too, and that's the worst.
You were just up at the mountain over the weekend.
I was over in Stowe. I actually, so lucky for me and my girlfriend, we were there. We were up in Stowe, and we luckily, when we were leaving the ski resort, because we decided to go with some friends. Her friends went skiing while me and her did like some looking around, and we did some ice skating, which I realized I am terrible at ice skating.
Oh, geez.
I am so bad at it. She's got videos of me. She's got videos of me like just like I'm having like the kitty little like the crate. I've got the little thing. I've got literal children that are using them.
Sure.
And I'm over here. Now there was an older gentleman who also was using one, so I didn't feel as bad, but I felt like I didn't feel like as much as like I should have been embarrassed. I didn't really feel embarrassed. I was more laughing at myself, but at the same time I was like, you know what? I'm having fun. But anyway, back to the picture though. Long story short, as soon as we were leaving Stowe, like as soon as we were passing through Stowe and Waterbury, like heading towards the interstate, is right when the snow started to hit.
Yeah.
And so we safely were able to get home, but like even getting there that morning was a little rocky and a little slushy.
Yeah.
But yeah, even coming back though it was not fun.
I remember the days when I was skiing and just getting out there, freezing my ass off and enjoying it.
So it's
like
fun,
now
but
it's like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, no, it's so like the thing about like I know a lot of Vermonters would disagree with me. They love their winter sports. I am the opposite. I would rather do summer sports because I'd rather be hot and then just have some water versus I'm freezing. I don't have a heating pack. I don't have something that's, I have, and that's what and when we went up there, I brought extra socks.
Oh, yeah.
I brought extra things because, and then, she laughed at me. She's like, why are you grabbing all this stuff? And now she is not actually from the state of Vermont. She's actually a Southerner herself.
Oh,
and
God.
So before she moved up here for, work and stuff, so she we did this last minute, by the way. She calls me the day before and goes, hey, I'm at Walmart picking up like snow pants and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, what do you have gloves? Do you have hats? She's like, no. And I'm like, get gloves and hats.
You're going up to Mansfield.
Cold.
That's a whole different planet up there, man. I mean, that's the wind. I can't even imagine.
Well, it's not even just that. It's like I was explaining to her because she didn't understand until we were actually there. Because when we were driving there, it wasn't so bad. But I was explaining to her, I'm like, she's like, because we're in the car getting there. She goes, oh, it's not that cold out. Like maybe we won't need as much. I'm
Wrong.
like, wait till you get in the elevation.
Yep.
Wait till you're actually physically up on the hill because it's the elevation and
Sure.
the winds that make the difference in whether you're going to be cold or not.
Sure. Listen, if you do love freezing your tail off and having fun in the snow, the 2025 Freezing Fun for Families Winter Co-ed Softball Tournament is coming. It's almost here, Friday, February 28th through Sunday, March 2nd at the Barrytown Rec Field. And tomorrow, Mark and Angie Duncan are going to be coming in at the top fundraising team of the Winter Co-ed Softball Tournament, and they're going to sit down with us, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation tomorrow. I can't wait. Wednesday, Sandy Roos from Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice is going to come by. We're going to talk about town funding. Thursday, G is going to be in. Friday, Rex. Thursday, early morning, I got something real interesting going on, and I'll share it with you probably after it happens, but I'll tell you all about it. Thanks for coming in here, Logan.
Thank you so much for having me.
Logan Luce, my guest this morning. Appreciate you very much, man.
Oh, no, thank you. No, I really appreciate it.
I've learned so much from you.
I know, thank you. No, I think I learned, well, the thing about myself I would say before we go is that I learn as I go. I'm one of those people where, like, I learn things as I go. But to be fair, like, the difference between you and I is that obviously you don't really keep up with sports, and so the thing is, it's like obviously I've been watching it since.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been watching football with my dad, for example, since I was like 10 years old. So
yeah, right.
I've been watching football for easily 12 years, and I've easily been watching basketball for at least 6 to 7. And so it's like, it's just when you have that time, just like anything, anything at all.
Right.
So. But thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate you.
And let's do it again. I would love to get you in here with Joe and have you guys sit down, and you guys can beat me up about Kendrick Lamar, and we'll have some fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, just got a message here. Good morning. Yes, it's cold here in Florida this morning. I actually had to turn my heat on, sitting here drinking my coffee, watching your video as I do every day. I do the same thing with leftover drippings. I'll take them and put them over mashed potatoes. Never waste anything. Have a blessed day. That's hysterical.
That's hilarious. It's awesome. I like that comment. That's great.
Show her what she's missing up here in Vermont.
I mean, if it's freezing there, you're not really missing anything here. I'm like, I'll switch. I'd love to be down in Florida right now in the warm weather.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.